sir. Okay, sir. Sir.
The speakers are there, they are ready.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay.
It's not correct to delay the program. You please start.
Okay. Good morning, all. Good morning, everybody. As we all know very well about that, today, the Earth Day, where we are living, where which one we are that is supporting to us to live, to breathe, to do all the things. It's giving the support only the planet by having the living beings. That we are celebrating the Earth Day. On behalf of the Earth Day of 2021, we are organizing one day national webinar with the association with the Council for Green Revolution, with one of the most prominent environmental awareness institution and NGO organization, that is that conducting so many programs to make aware among the all the stakeholders and the people, public, to make aware about the environment and have they founded at the Earth Day on the Earth Day, April 2010. The founder is Srimati K. Leela Lakshma Reddy Ma'am Garu. This institution readily accepted to collaborate with us, to associate with us, to make aware among our students and staff, faculty, dignitaries, and stakeholders. Thank you, CGR, Council for Green Revolution, especially Venkatesh sir immediately accepted and coordinated with the CGR eminent persons on president and director and the speaker, those who are going to give the valuable speech, valuable talk on Earth Day. That two speakers, especially our just I will share the screen. If you don't mind. Sir, Venkatesh sir, you please make me co-host, sir, to share the screen.
Yes, sir, sure.
Sir, first speaker is Dr. M. Sai Bhaskar Reddy, Earth Center Director, and the famous environmentalist having the so many conducting so many activities, and he will introduce so many new things about, explain about the Earth, our Earth importance. And the next second speaker is Mr. C. Umamaheshwar Reddy, sir, environmental scientist from CGR. These two speakers will elaborate and introduce, enlighten us about our Earth Day importance and impact, how, what, where we are, how, what we have to, that all will be explained by these eminent speakers. Thank you for giving a time to us. With this, we got our principal, sir, Dr. B. Balabhaskar, sir, will talk on a brief about this webinar, sir. Sir, Balabhaskar, sir, principal, sir. Principal, sir.
Right.
Sir, please, sir.
So, good morning to all the members who are there on the online. I welcome you all to the national webinar on Restore Our Earth on the occasion of Earth Day 2021. It is been organized by our
no
Department
problem.
of Botany
Okay.
in association with the Council
I have joined
for-
actually. Okay. Then Pata presentation iyala.
Sir, please mute, sir.
So it has been organized by Department of Botany in association with the Council for Green Revolution, Hyderabad. So as we all know that, first of all, I should congratulate our Department of Botany, Government City College, Hyderabad, for organizing this wonderful program on Earth Day celebrations. This is the need of the hour, as we all know that what is happening to the entire globe in the name of COVID-19. Of course, this is one virus that is creating a lot of problem to the globe itself. The reasons may not be known, but one thing that we can all accept, that because of ecological imbalance, that what it is been going on the earth, definitely these kind of viruses are being propagating very fastly, and they are doing a lot of damage, and we the people not able to control it. So definitely it is the need of the hour to restore our earth. So in this context, I think our Department of Botany, in association with the Council for Green Revolution, are organizing a one-day national webinar. And I must thank the keynote speaker, Dr. N. Sai Bhaskar Reddy, Earth Center Director, CGR Hyderabad, and also the other keynote speaker, Mr. C. Uma Maheshwar Reddy Garu, Environmental Scientist, CGR Hyderabad. I think it is a wonderful program. Definitely we should all hear the things what we have to do to restore our earth. What are the steps that we need to take? What are the mechanisms or what are the activities that we need to follow? Definitely there is a great responsibility on both, like the higher education institutions, as well the NGO organizations like Council for Green Revolution. A great responsibility is there on our shoulders. Definitely we the people must show a way to the society to how to restore our earth. Definitely this webinar will help giving the ideas, in giving the ways and mechanisms how to restore our earth. As far as my knowledge, I can say this: everyone is saying plant a tree to improve the greenery on the earth. This is okay. Planting the samplings or planting the trees, it is one thing to improve the green carpet over the globe. But at the same time, we should also focus on one of the very important criteria, that is one audit, like a green audit should be there. And this should be encouraged by the NGO organizations like Council for Green Revolution. This green audit must be there for each and every organization. So the government should also make it a mandatory for every institution or for every organization to go with a green audit. Even in case of the public who are constructing houses and who are doing certain constructions in the Hyderabad or in anywhere metropolitan cities, definitely even for them also it should be a mandatory. They should make it a rule that everyone should submit a green audit report before giving the permissions. If that is the case, definitely I can say everyone will get an awareness over this particular greenery, and definitely the earth is going to restore its original thing, that what it is, what was there in earlier days. So I think this webinar will give a way, and this webinar will give a mechanism, and this should come as a, I hope whatever the papers that are going to be present and what are the messages that are going to present in this particular webinar must be bring in the form of an print manual, and this should be circulated among all the government degree colleges. That will definitely help for all our colleges to go with green this one. So I once again thank our today's resource persons for giving their valuable time to spend with us, to share their ideas with us. And I also congratulate our botany department for organizing this wonderful program in association with our Council for Green Revolution. Thank you, one and all. I request our Nagaraj Garu to proceed further.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the valuable introduction, sir. We are very happy to conduct this program with the eminent environmentalist NGO organization with our botany department. Now, Sidarani ma'am will introduce the first speaker.
Okay.
Ma'am, please.
Okay.
Ma'am, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, good morning, one and all.
Ma'am, you please mute. You are in unmute. Please mute, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, you know.
So, good morning, one and all. On behalf of Government City College and the Department of Botany, first of all, I thank our principal, sir, Dr. P. Balabhaskar Garu, FSC, Vice Principal, Shukla, sir, and Aizaz ma'am. I feel privileged for getting this opportunity to introduce today's keynote speaker, Dr. N. Sai Bhaskar Reddy Garu, Earth Center Director, CG. Hello? Sir, my voice is audible, huh?
Yes, ma'am, audible, ma'am. Just 1 second, please, ma'am. So, Venkatesh sir. Sir, Venkatesh sir. Venkatesh sir. Sir, shall we start with the pledges, sir? First, we do the pledges, sir. Earth Day pledges, sir. Then we will.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sir.
Okay.
That we will start, sir. I will say you can continue, sir. Otherwise, you, sir. So all the participants, please, we do the one just 1 minute pledge of today. Please, you all continue with me. I said the pledge. Please cooperate with us. We will start with the pledge. That what I saying, you please repeat it. There is Earth Day pledge on the Earth Day. I always care and respect Mother Earth. Mother Earth. It's my solemn duty to conserve nature. It's my responsibility to preserve the integrity. Please all, otherwise I will, okay. Responsibility to preserve the integrity and health of our planet for generations to come. I shall contribute to the best of my ability for mitigation of climate change, saving biodiversity, and strive for sustainable development. Okay, there is a pledge of our Earth Day. Now we will start the introduction of the first speaker, and we will go for the continuation of the speaker of the program. Ma'am, you can start.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Good morning, one and all. On behalf of Government City College and Department of Botany, first of all, I thank our principal, sir, Dr. P. Balabhaskar Garu, FSC, Vice Principal Shukla, sir, and Aizaz ma'am. I feel privileged for getting this opportunity to introduce today's keynote speaker, Dr. N. Sai Bhaskar Reddy, sir, Earth Center Director, CGR, Hyderabad, on the occasion of Earth Day 2021, that is on Restore Our Earth. Sir obtained a double PG in Applied Geology from Indian Institute of Technology, Mumbai, and also Geography. Sir has been qualified CSIR NET and pursued PhD on Environmental Impact Assessment Studies of the most polluted water at Patancheru Industrial Area. Presently, Sir has been working on disaster and climate resilience projects at Taru. Sir is the founder member and vice president of Greens Alliance for Conservative of Eastern Ghats. Sir is a member of Green Revolution and Executive Committee member of Telangana State Afforestation Fund Management and Planning Authority. Sir has written more than 15 books on environment, rural energy, soil, water, etc. On the notable contribution is on biochar using charcoal produced from wasted biomass. First time it is introduced in our India. Sir has conducted studies on the disaster management related to earthquakes, cyclones, and floods. Sir has contributed on sustainable livelihood of the communities in 2,500 watershed villages. Sir has worked on disaster assessment in parts of Uttarakhand, Jharkhand, and our Telangana state. These are the most significant work. So I request Dr. Sai Bhaskar Reddy sir to deliver his talk on Restore Our Earth. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, madam. Respected Principal Garu, Dr. Balabhaskar Garu, and Dr. D. Nagaraj, and all the co-conveners, Sudharani Garu, Sheba Rani Garu, Narmada Garu, Varaprasad Rao Garu, and many other faculty members who have participated from across India, as well as the students. Today, the topic is Restore Our Earth. This is very, very apt chosen for the Earth Day. So globally, we are celebrating the Earth Day. I think if there is any common event to celebrate for everyone and on this earth, that is the Earth Day. And because this is what which unifies, cuts across our regions or differences and all that, because this is our only home, and the health of this home, today we could see the health of the people. It is a reflection. The corona pandemic is one of the reflection indirectly that earth is not in good shape. So there are going to be many such disasters or pandemics going to happen. Already we had been commonly dealing some of the greatest challenges like climate change. I'm an expert on that, having done several international and national projects, as well as the disasters. They are increasing already. And now the heat wave or the upcoming floods, and including some other challenges, especially the incidence of pest and disease. And all these are happening, and we are witness to that. And the sustainability of the earth is a very big question. Although UN started from 2015 by 2030, need to achieve this SDGs goals, the 17 goals are there. But because of this pandemic that happened since last year, I think the economic recession is happening globally. And the whole, one of the biggest tragedy is the tragedy of the youth. We should not forget, especially those who are in the schools and colleges now who are getting educated. And they are getting prepared for their future. And these 2 years, especially now, especially 1 year already passed on, and this year also it is continuing. So the kind of learning that is happening, or the kind of education systems that we existed, they have completely failed, and adaptation to new methods of teaching, that is still happening, and evaluating students, that is not even an evaluation, it is only like a grace marks that we are making them pass. I think these are new learnings and new situations. And most importantly, with this kind of people keeping away from one another, the more automation and artificial intelligence and robotics and many other new things will take over in the world. When they take over, the potential jobs for the youth, that is a very big challenge. I think the context we should not forget, that was I am bringing up. But how the youth and everybody could participate in the restoration of the earth, that is one of the important things that we should learn. So starting from different examples from my life, because I traveled across the world to about 15 countries, and within India, at least 18 states, I have participated in several of the projects. Let us take the example of the people in Bundelkhand area. That's a drought-prone area, and people, they struggle. But again, here, because of climate change, the droughts are more frequent. And now, what is the adaptation strategy that is happening there? So that is very, very crucial for their adaptation. Or if you look at the Saura tribes or Malto tribes of Jharkhand, or Jagdalpur area, the tribes there, all these places I have visited, and they are coping with, let us say, the joint forest management. What is the health of the forest? What is the percentage of? Now we have Vandan project, that is actually for strengthening the tribal communities' livelihoods. But if there is enough, then we could address their livelihoods. One of the things that I got from the Amrabad area, a very good learning. They said the honeybees are not visible. This is a very big tragedy that is happening. Please remember, if honeybee is not visible, the botanists, many botanists are here in this group. What is how the pollination will happen? What is the food security of the whole system, not only human beings, for everything? So this challenge we are facing already, and but we are not recognizing its importance. Such studies are also not happening. Similarly, the recent study says that the species from the equator are migrating to the northern poles. We know the highest density of all kinds of life that exist close to the equator. When especially I am telling about the marine life, so they are directly migrating towards the polar regions. See, polar regions cannot sustain, because the total biodiversity and nutrient density and all that, the sunlight and all that is limited. But why this is happening? Because of the temperature increase. The average sea temperature has increased. So for comfort, they are moving. But what will happen? These species are going to higher latitudes, and they are competing with the existing species there. And there will be some of the species would extinct in the process, because they would just replace the dominant other species. So this is going to happen. So in this way, and also in between the species, there will be exchange of genes also would happen, and new diseases and other things would happen. So these are happening already. These are biggest tragedies happening in the world. See, corona is one simple example where we have never imagined that in spite of so much technology, knowledge, research, and development, still we could face even such kind of thing, and people are dying for lack of oxygen. The simplest thing is oxygen is there, and it is a very good percentage of oxygen is there. The CO2 is so little, but still they survive, and they try to give life to so much other life. But when we have so much plenty of oxygen, but still we are struggling. But if you see the air quality index of any place, you can go through just AccuWeather or some other apps, and just search for your air quality index globally, any place. See, it is so bad. We are not bothered about the air pollution. Now we are want our oxygen cylinders to be supplied and oxygen to be given. See, this is very funny. When God has given so much plenty oxygen, and we could not maintain our systems which regenerate and this oxygen naturally, and we don't have enough plants. So now we are suffering, and only very few places are there where good quality of air is there, and the rest of the areas are already highly polluted, and especially people in the cities are suffering from respiratory diseases. That is one reason, because majority of people getting affected in urban areas is very high, because of this common factor, because already their lungs are very weak, and they are infected, and highly they are living in a polluted environment, and with this virus impacting on them, their lungs are unable to sustain. So that is one of the reasons for high number of deaths in the urban areas. So this urbanization or industrialization, coming from my PhD area Patancheru, it is no more good. I mean to say, the way it started and the number of cases filed and judgments given and government decisions taken, in spite of all that, the pollution is same and the suffering is same. And we are having new industrial areas and the new areas are also getting under the same similar situation, and it is expanding like the wildfire. And so this particular situation, especially the scars, if I say the not only industries, if you say the primary area, that is mining. So within mining, we had been exploiting, and now today the scars are there, and these mined areas are we have never tried to restore. We always gain or increase our income at the cost of the environment. The cost of the environment, we always leave it to the future generations. There is a saying, somebody was having food in a hotel. So the owner said, okay, you need not pay the bill. The next person who would come, he would pay the bill. Then this person was eating as much as he can because he thinks he is not at all responsible for the bills he need to pay. And so what happened when he was about to leave, then that hotel manager, he gave him the bill telling that this much amount you had to pay. Then he said, no, you said the future generations would pay. Then he said, no, this is the people who ate before you. It is like that. So we are always postponing our responsibility. If we are getting World Bank loans or this loan, that loan and all that, on whose name we are getting all this credit? We are getting this credit in the name of our future generations. Then our future generations, are they questioning us? How did you make this much credit when you in your own time you are unable to pay up all that? Then why you are getting so much credit? So this question is not there. Similarly, the degradation of our whole environment is a big thing that is already happened, and we are unable to sustain that whole thing now. And similarly, if we go to this, especially the water quality, the corona number of people dying is so less, but the number of people already dying because of this pollution, water pollution or waterborne disease, it is in lakhs, 35 lakhs. The number of deaths due to corona is so less, but the number of people who died otherwise, the peaceful means, you see the people dying because of mosquitoes, that is very high, but that is never considered because here majority of the people who die are the poor people, not the rich people. That's rich people are always they are exclusive of this kind of things happening globally. The malnutrition, the very poor people are dying. So here, why the corona has come to prominence? Why we have so much lockdowns when we have the river pollution or the local water pollution? Even Bolakpur, many people died in the Hyderabad city because by drinking the mixed drainage and drinking water. And so many at that time we discussed, but it is a localized, so nobody is bothered. Why we have not put up a lockdown there and completely revamped the sewerage system like that? So immediate action won't happen. But here we are looking the everybody is getting impacted, so there is so much panic in this particular aspect. Otherwise, peacefully during peace times, many people are dying and there is not much reason. And especially the governments, the health is education, these are the two important welfare measures. Every government has the responsibility, but these are weakened over a period of time. They are privatized, and nobody has looked into the importance of these two aspects. Even we have not learned from the last year pandemic. We know enough beds are not there. We know enough ICU centers are not there. We know there is not enough oxygen, but still we have not rectified ourselves and improved our infrastructure to cope with this particular situation. And now again we are struggling. I know by next year we will be still struggling. And this virus, because we have mutants, the third mutant we have now. I think this mutation is happening so fast in spite of this antivirus that is available there, and many people are taking, but still they are getting infected. And this time the youth are getting infected. This is very thing to remember, because earlier it was only the people above 60, and they were most vulnerable, but now the youth are getting impacted. So this is highly an alarming situation of what is happening. And see, restoring earth is not, we have not in the last 150, 180 years, because of industrialization and all that, continuously we had been accelerated the process of degradation, destruction of this earth. And similarly, restoring our earth is not a one-day process. And whatever all the species that have been lost on this earth, who is responsible for that? We cannot bring back those species. And even now, every day, many species are being completely extinct and lost even before their discovery. So how do we account for that? So this particular situation brings for, there is a need for global policies, and especially UN like organization to take a bigger responsibility. Definitely they have failed. The WHO, the UN body, it has definitely failed. Even the many other organizations like UNFCCC, they are trying for curtailing the climate change. They are unable to. Even CBD, Convention on Biological Diversity, they are also unable to. They are failing. Even on desertification, there is an organization that is also failing. So like that, but still they have their definite role, and now at least they should take, because their model of functioning or their dependency on the funding from various governments, this is what may weakens them actually. But actually these institutions and international organizations should resolve themselves, and should become independent, and they should take a proper decisions at least now, and to should able to dictate some of the very much which are not serious governments about the consequences and the what is happening now, to take proper measures. Otherwise this pandemic is going to especially, I would like to say a few words about the youth, the younger generations, what they should do. Yes, definitely they should participate in every restoration effort. That's why in our Council for Green Revolution, the Earth Center is basically for bringing up this kind of emergence of this earth leadership. Yes, you might say there is enough leadership. Yes, we have a number of leaders, but no leader is able to inspire anybody now. That it could be from education, it could be from any field, a doctor's field, or researchers, scientists, or even political leadership. Leadership from all aspects. There is a vacuum now. There are very few leaders to say that they are the leaders. This is how a leader should be like. They are the role models. They are very, very rare. We are not producing leaders. We are not able to identify leaders. We are not able to really listen to the true leaders. We are in a false situation, and that is one reason. And here what is required, most important, is not the competition. What is required is compassion. So here developing this compassion among the students, developing this among the society, that is a very big thing that need to emerge as a movement now. And this, as we have pandemic, similarly we need a kind of movement, immediate movement, global movement, uniting all of us together, cutting across all our differences to work for this. And a few words I would like to share about the youth, because for me they are the most concerned category, because what we enjoyed and what we lived and all that, especially our generation, need to be blamed the most, if you consider other generations also, for what we left for the youth and into the future. Definitely their skills and communication and teamwork and critical thinking and flexibility, most important, that culture we need to bring up in the youth. And because they think they are specialists, they are learning so and so science, and they would find a job in that. For the same qualified position, there are hundreds of people. If one person is getting, others are not getting, it is not that they are not qualified, because we don't have enough to serve all the people. So that way, this kind of youth, they might be disappointed in the coming days, not finding the right opportunity to use their knowledge or skills to serve the society. So this kind of, they might lead into a kind of depression among youth, a resentment among youth. So to prevent that, our education systems should equip them with this thinking, it's basically the psychological aspect is very, very important now for all the youth that we need to work, the counseling that we need to do, or the flexibility that we need to give. This should increase. So here, ultimately, we should recognize them as leaders, and this leadership is not just about leader means you are given this position or this kind of facilities. Not like that. You are leader for whatever your domain is, and whatever decisions you make for a better earth. And a leader need not be visible. A leader always works silently. So the true characters of the leadership need to be taught to the youth, and their life should be very simple. And of course, we lived a different life, but now the simplicity is the only way which we could sustain the resources or sustain ourselves on this earth. And here again, the multi-skilled and multidisciplinary aspects need to be. Yes, new education policy that has come into recently, that gives lots of flexibility, especially multidisciplinary kind of learning. It's good. At least now the students could learn various aspects, not only looking into their career or future, but they can look into many other things. That is very, very important, because life is not about just learn and earn. Learn, earn is not the definition. See, life is about understanding and making our life more meaningful and complete. Completion is not about how much wealth you have and all that. So here, doing what you love, that is most important. So practically myself, I always practiced, and that's why I'm able to tell. Because the kind of areas that I worked and all that are never related to my education. I went about by sensitivity. My sensitivities told me, yes, this is the area you need to work. So that area, knowledge is not a big thing. Now it is available everywhere. So you could get online courses, or so much. The best teachers are available online. There is no restriction for knowledge. But what is important is your way of life. How do you want to be present yourself? That is very, very important. And being humble as a human. Yes, we call ourselves human beings, but we are very less human. And but this humbleness is very, very important. And arrogance is what destroys. The ego is to be destroyed, and all that need to come down. And the more you are humble, the more you come down a step down to reach others. That is more important than being exclusive. That is very, very important. And most important is learning from our own cultural and heritage, and the values, ethical values and all that. This is very, very important. And achieving the sustainable development goals, and still we have about 9 years time, and here the youth could play definitely a bigger role, and this is very, very important. And they could also take up into other areas like arts, spirituality is nothing wrong. See, everybody is spiritual in one way or the other, but religious is something different. But one could be always spiritual. That is searching one's own meaning for what is the purpose of my being. That is what spirituality actually. One's own identity, that is what spirituality. So that one could always explore, and this will always help each person. And new methods of support from government might come into existence. Already, like universal basic income is being explored for the people, but for youth also some kind of support systems might come. I think with this new system, they could explore a way of life, the simple life. It is not that within that simple life, they can make life meaningful and complete. So, and these are the various issues I think I would like to say on this Restore Our Earth with this theme on this Earth Day. And definitely youth have a bigger role, and definitely they could also participate in the parliament and many other decision-making bodies. They should, and I feel that they should be given reservation to represent more. I feel the aged people taking decisions for the future, let us keep it aside. Let us give more participation of youth to make decision making, and let them make their own decisions. I'm sure they are more sensitive, they are non-political, and they're more democratic, and their learning and everything is very high. Their understanding is very good. So let us keep away and give way for this younger generations to restore our earth, and definitely they will do, and they will make this earth a better livable planet for the coming generations too. Thank you very much, one and all, for giving me this opportunity today. I am very happy that I am participating in this event. Thank you once again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for wonderful, valuable speech. I think this speech have enlightened the students, the stakeholders, may be motivated. We expected more enlightened talk from you, sir. Actually, we are very much interested to inculcate the habits of the conservation in the students and stakeholders. We know you are very well expert in that to inculcate, to motivate in that environmental awareness programs. Sir, thank you very much. You have given the time immediately, even within the short span of the time. We asked you, you are given the chance to speak and interact with the students and various parts of our India. From other states also, so many students have participated and lecturers all participated. Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving your valuable suggestions and information and enlighten sir. Now, the second speaker, Narmada ma'am.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Ma'am, you please introduce the second speaker, ma'am. Now, the second speaker will introduced by the Dr. D. Narmada ma'am, Department of Botany, Government City College, Autonomous, Hyderabad. Ma'am, you please start.
Thank you, Nagaraj, sir. A very good afternoon to one and all. Respected principal, sir, and other keynote speakers, and faculty members, and my dear students. On behalf of Department of Botany, Government City College, Hyderabad, I extend a warm welcome to Mr. C. Uma Maheshwar Reddy Garu, Environmental Scientist, Council for Green Revolution, Hyderabad, who is keynote speaker of this session of today's webinar. I feel highly honored to introduce Mr. Uma Maheshwar Reddy, sir. Uma Maheshwar Reddy, sir, has been an environmentalist with 25 years of work and activism for environmental protection and nature conservation. He did his master's degree in applied geology and PhD research on environmental pollution of Musi River from Usmania University. He worked with national and international organizations such as International Water Management Institute, National Academy of Construction Center for Economic and Social Studies, etc. He has been part of various international projects on environmental management, water management, sustainable development. He also has authored 3 books, that is Eastern Ghats Environment Outlook, The Change Phase of Rural Andhra Pradesh, and Power of Collective. He presently a technical advisor, environment, to Council for Green Revolution, environmental organization. May I now request Mr. C. Uma Maheshwar Reddy, sir, to take over the session. Sir, please.
Good morning. Thank you, madam, for your kind introduction. It's a great occasion to be here with many research scholars, faculty, students, and eminent people. That I thank Dr. Balabhaskar Garu, principal, the City College, and the chairman of this program. And I thank Leela Lakshma Reddy Garu, convener of this program, And I am grateful to Dr. Nagaraju, Department of Botany, and Venkatesh for inviting me to this important event. We have coordinated regarding this program. And also, I thank the conveners. I congratulate the conveners, KLV Prasad Rao, Dr. D. Narmada, Srimati A. Shobharani, Dr. K. Sudharani, and my Earth Day wishes to the faculty, students, research scholars, and all other who have joined here in this important program. You must have been aware that Earth Day was started something like in 1970 by an American senator. He was very much concerned about the declining quality of environment in the United States, and he started this as a movement, environmental movement, to create some kind of awareness among the people of United States. In the first Earth Day, it was on 22nd April 1970, and first Earth Day was attended by nearly 2 crore people, and many politicians and civil society people and all others participated in this event. And subsequently, it grown into a very, very, very big international environmental event. Now today, 190 countries are observing this, and 15,000 organizations are observing this, and crores of people are participating in this event. Because of this program in the United States, the Clean Air Act came, and Environmental Protection Agency was created, and so many kind of legislations were taken place in the United States. So this is very, very, very important occasion. Our organization, Council for Green Revolution, where I am working, was started some 11 years ago on the same day. It was on Earth Day, 22nd April 2010, near Hyderabad in a small village called Anmaspalli. It is near Kartal on Srisailam Highway. And subsequently, the organization every year organizing this important event. So I'm happy to be here in this occasion. But due to paucity of time, I could not make a precise presentation, because yesterday, the other day, I could come to know about this. So, but anyway, I would like to present one old presentation which is very relevant to this topic. And before that, I would like to say some vital signs of why we should restore. This year's theme is Restore Earth. Why should we restore Earth? If our health is declined, we go for a doctor, and we go for a hospital to restore our health. If our home is damaged, we will try something to restore our health, but our home. And the earth is our home for 8 billion people. That means 800 crores population, and it is overcrowded now, hot, flat, and crowded. There are so many wrong things are going on there. The water resources are depleted, and marines are overfished and polluted. Every area of the seafloor is with plastic materials, and our forests have gone to 20% decline from in the last 200 years. And our air is polluted and dense with carbon and other greenhouse gases. And average global temperatures rose to 1.5 degrees comparing to the pre-industrial times. All the ecosystems, wilderness areas, wildlife, and our native seeds, crop diversity, soil fertility, groundwater, everything is in a wrong declining line. So it is very discouraging and very heartening actually. So if the things continue, it will become a barren planet, and how will we survive? We have to choose for another planet. We send ballistic missiles to fight with another country, but we don't know, we don't have the consciousness to protect our Earth. So this is the concern. That's why we are observing this Earth Day. And CGR is observing this Earth Day in many villages today. Our colleagues have gone into the villages, and they are releasing posters and making pledges, at least to safeguard the village ecosystems and biodiversity, so that a small step can add to the global consciousness and global action. So before the, I will come to a small presentation. This is the old presentation already I told it because many of you are from the botany department. It seems most of the participants are from botany and plant sciences. I'm very glad that Historic City College and the botany department is organizing this. This is one of the fundamental basic subject, botany, and it's very old and it's a basic sciences. So I'm happy to share a presentation about plants for a living. Already I told the vital signs what is happening. We have lost much of the forest area in the continents, and even India also lost much of the forest. Its floral genetic wealth. So in that connection, I would like to present, and I would like to share a presentation. If you allow me, I shall share the presentation. So, are you able to see? Are you able to see this screen? So
Yes,
this is
sir.
the PPT I would like to share, and this is old one. This old presentation. Just slideshow. Slideshow. Thank you, dear all the friends of botany and other allied subjects and the participants here. I would like to present the topic on plants for a living planet. This is very important because plants are the fundamental building blocks of the earth. So before that, I would like to briefly introduce about our organization. I am representing Council for Green Revolution. I've been there for associated with 11 years, and I've been an environmental scientist there. I'm involved in many of their its projects and programs. So its core objectives and focus areas are massive tree plantation, conservation of ecosystems, environmental education, earth leadership, sustainable development goals. And this is our CGR premises in Raviral near ORR, just abutting the ORR outer ring road near Raviral. And this is inside our premises. And as I already said, that we have initiated a massive tree plantation program to achieve 1 crore plantation of saplings. And so far we reached 39 lakh plantation of saplings and 7 lakh seed balls through 10 lakh school children. And this is the field level photo. Children are planting saplings. And these are some of the schools. We have mostly involved with the government schools and school children. This is one area where school children planted there near Kartal area. And this is in a area beside a Suryalakshmi cotton mill on Srisailam highway. This is grown into the thick forest, and many wildlife species are coming retreating back into this wilderness. And this is one village called Silarpalli. There are only 200 houses and there are 7,000 tree species. And children are making seed balls. And our president with the children throwing the seed balls, scattering the seed balls in the wilderness near Hyderabad in some hillocks. And we have unleashed a program called Greens Alliance for Conservation of Eastern Ghats. You must have heard about Eastern Ghats. It detached hill ranges that span from Orissa to Tamil Nadu and runs about 75,000, 1,600 kilometers, and it occupies an area of nearly 1 lakh square kilometers. It's an important prime ecosystem after Himalayas and Western Ghats. So to conserve, it is in a very much declining position all the ecosystem. So we have launched a program called the Greens Alliance for Conservation of Eastern Ghats. Through that, we have organized 3 national conferences and 2 regional conferences, and released a book called Eastern Ghats Environment Outlook. And this book was released by late Pranab Mukherjee. He was a former president of India in 2019 at Delhi. And through like this, we are trying to propagate the environmental consciousness and that leadership among the youth and students and children in various parts of the nation. And we are coming up with a environmental training center on the Srisailam Highway. It is called Earth Center to train youngsters and youth and other walks of life people on environmental leadership, quality skills, and capacity building like this. So soon it will launch some of the training programs we can share with you. And coming to the topic, today's topic, plants, the majestic life forms. They're the important building blocks of ecosystems, and they're the organic link between living and non-living creation. A tree itself is an ecosystem. You know, one research by Cornell researchers have shown that a single tree, it is not even a tropical tree, it is a temperate tree, hosts about 300 organisms like small mammals to many insects, and we don't know how many microorganisms. So a tree itself is an ecosystem. That's the beauty of the tree. They are the source of inspiration and enlightenment. And you know, Buddha got enlightenment in the shade of a tree. And they are the green mantle and resembles a protective skin. You know, we have the skin, and the trees are like trees, and woodlands are the skin of this living planet. If we if we remove all the skin, what will happen? We will die. Like that, if the skin of the tree planet goes, the planet will desiccate and die. So we must protect the trees. And from tiny algal forms to grasses, herbs, shrubs to gain to sequoias, there are many big trees and tropical big trees. There are diverse in form and habitats. They form dense forests, mighty woodlands, grasslands, sacred groves, and mangroves. They are very old and ancient. You know, the trees, redwood trees in the California coast, they are as old as like 1,000 years. And you know, Kolkata Banyan Botanical Garden, banyan tree must be 1,000 years old. And Timaka Marimanu in Anantapuram, it's one of the oldest. And our, you know, Mahbubnagar, there is banyan tree. It is also very old. We don't know the age of the trees in the remote area. So they're the ancient living forms. And they came into the charter of the evolution. You know, Earth was formed some 4.6 billion years ago. The plant species came nearly 1 billion years ago. And we have 4 lakh plant species so far enumerated by scientists and taxonomists all over the world. And we don't know, we still may have some more species in the hinterlands of Amazon, Congo, maybe in our Eastern Ghats. Still, there are new foundings, new recordings in the scientific journals and botanical journals. So like that, it's a vast array of tree species exists on the planet. They cover about 30% of the terrestrial surface of the Earth. And before industrialization, it was nearly 50%. So we lost nearly 20% of the tree cover, forest cover. But even this 30% is also, I am not sure it is healthy, whether it is just a tree cover. It is not a really forest, terrestrial forest. Whether them the natural history, without them, the natural history of the Earth is near blank. We will not have any natural history because of the trees. The evolution process is going on without any interruption. There are so many species have evolved due to these ecosystems like forests and other things. Without them, there would be no human civilization and progress. You know, all our mythology, history, and all intertwined with this forests and woodlands. Without them, the Earth will not be a living planet. Sure, if there is no tree, there is no life on planet. So this is the importance of the trees and woodlands. So we have, this is a botanical world and the plant world, plant kingdom, we have many people like Van Humboldt, Alexander Van Humboldt, who have extolled South American flora and fauna. He is one of the wonderful explorer. He recorded so many of Amazonian and down the Amazonian flora. And Charles Darwin, you know the evolution of history, evolution of life, species. And Alfred Russel Wallace, botanical research scholars must have learned about him. Alfred Russel Wallace, who have divided the Wallace line. It is a Australian plant realm and Indo-Malayan plant realm. Taxonomists must have learned about him. But Tom Hooker and Hutchinson, you all know in the textbooks. Gregor Mendel, Corliss Linnaeus, who have given the binomial name, binomial theory and binomial practice. Sir Jagdish Chandra Bose, a bright son of India, who has told that plants have the life. Washington Carver is an amazing, an inspiring life that he is a great plant breeder, helped to promote the livelihoods and empower the people in the American Midwest, who helped the blacks deprived in the American society in some 200 years, 150 years ago or 100 years ago. And you know, another plant breeder, Louis Burbank, you must have heard about all these things, just to remember on this occasion. And they know the plants and woodlands, all this provide an enormous intrinsic and eccentric values. They have the provisioning, it is called ecosystem services. They have provisioning services, the goods themselves, for example, wood and all these things, water, and regulating services, climate, water releases, streams, hazard prevention, climate modulation, and cultural services, because forests have become the spiritual centers and all these things. The splendor and the stimulus of nature examples include spiritual role of forest biodiversity, recreation, cultural and ethnological diversity. Supporting services helps the growth of vegetation and production. Example includes soil formation, photosynthesis. So if we account all this together, it is immense value. We even invaluable. We cannot amount in them in the monetary value. So they are the permanent perennial food baskets. You know, even Nalamala Forest provides nearly 150 kind of fruit, wild fruit species, and many tubers and leaves, many wild vegetables, leafy vegetables. So it's a perennial food basket. And pharmacy, it's a natural pharmacy bestowed by the Almighty God. It's a natural way. Most of the medicines, even from quinine to other many medicines, come from the pharmacy of nature. And it's a source of energy, habitat for man and all creatures. And they're the water towers. Half of the fresh water comes from the forested watersheds, like in all the continents, especially the tropical countries. And they balance the climate. I mean, even Amazon creates its own rainfall. Even in the Central Indian forest used to do that, but the Central Indian forest is punctured and porosity came in the Central Indian forest. It was the Amazon of India, but its situation is worse today. And the soil health it protects, biodiversity space it creates. Most of the protected areas are in the forested areas. It gives economic, social, and spiritual spaces. And what's the value of a tree? And recently, a judicial committee is appointed by Supreme Court estimated that every year it provides 74,500 rupees, and if it is multiplied by 100 years, it is 74 lakhs. But it is not true actually. We cannot calculate a true value of intrinsic value of a tree in the monetary terms. But at least they come up with some understanding that trees have some value. So we should protect the trees always, and we should replant, afforest, and reforest. And now we have major biomes of global flora like tropical forest vegetation, boreal forest cover, and temperate flora. And I quickly go through. These are the boreal forests in the tundra regions around the circumpolar region, and short growing periods and very little growing times, and only for some kind of this kind of vegetation, needle leaf vegetation comes out. And this is tropical flora, uh, high temperature regions, and we have dense forests like Congo, Amazon, and Southeast Asian forests and Indian tropical forest. So these tropical forests have a wonderful diversity. You know, one estimation in Manu National Park in Peru estimated that just a square kilometer area provided with the 5,000 species, small to big tree species. And these are the temperate biomes like Europe and other regions. So these are the temperate biomes. So they have xanthophylls and kind of a leaves and vertically growing trees. And you know, vital signs has already told on this occasion of Earth Day. We have to remind again, we are crowded with 8 billion people. Actually, one assessment some time back told that the planet could accommodate only 4 billion people. That means 400 crores. But now we are 8 billion people. Know what immense pressure on the resources like water, soils, forests, and food and wildlife. So we are overcrowded, and it is hotter by 1.5 degrees and flat by globalization. There's a maze of intense activity of commerce, trade, and communication. You know, the Suez, yes, recently you must have read about the blocking of Suez Canal. So every day, some thousands of ships pass through the Suez Canal. Some 100 years, some 100 years ago, it was not like that. A day, one or two ships occasionally. So that shows the intensity of the commerce and trade. That means the resources are extracted somewhere and it is processed and utilized somewhere. So that's a tremendous pressure on the global biodiversity and ecosystems. We are losing so many species, plant species and animal species. Biodiversity loss is immense, and the change is very unprecedented and immense. The very rapid. Today there is something, tomorrow there won't be something. So the face of the earth is changing very fast, and the resources are finite. We are reaching the planetary boundaries. Need and greed at the high, and the world in and outside of the forests are in pressure. There are limits to growth, and the flora is imperiled by axe, and we are cutting by machine, fire, flow, farming, ranching, plantations, damming, mining, logging. Tropical forests are devastated. In not even in India, even in the Brazilian Amazon. Last year, we have seen that the forest fires. What did forest fires to the Amazon forest? Nearly hundreds of square kilometers are wiped out in few days for ranching and for cattle ranching and soybean formations. Every day, forest areas are encroached. Mining, oil extraction. You know, in Malaysia and Indonesia, most of the primal forest is replaced with palm oil. It's a monocropping. The commercial interest, its original genetic plant diversity is gone. Climate change is evident, and temperate forests are losing due to the climate changes. And every year we lose 13 million hectares. It is a figure by FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization, causing 20% of greenhouse gases deforestation. And loss of biodiversity is alarming and debilitating the capacity of carbon sequestration. And it is accelerating the global warming. Soil erosion is evident everywhere because every hectare is losing nearly 2.24 kilos of soil or something like that every year. 24 not 2.4 tons of soil, something like that, due to erosion and water and other erosion due to deforestation and soil destabilization. Freshwater supplies are impacted. Pollination, frugivory, and ecological functions are affected everywhere on the earth. And the United Nations General Assembly told that environmental security is one of the most important global concerns beside peace, social development, and international relations. There was a declaration some 8 years ago that they put all important challenges of the earth and that they said environmental securities are very important. Earth has enough to provide the needs of all, but cannot satisfy the greed of a few, Mahatma Gandhi said. So if we are not greedful and if we respect the integrity of the earth can provide many things and happily we can live. But if we go on plundering with profligate and selfish interest, ego-driven interest, the earth won't provide anything in near future. So this is a classic example of a deforestation in Borneo. Borneo was a wonderful green paradise actually. And you know, there are the birds of paradise in that forest areas. Now you see the changes in this figure. By the 2020, only highland areas in central highlands of the Borneo hosting some forest. All the coastal and plain areas, it has lost all its forest. Even that also because of inaccessibility, those forests are remaining there. Otherwise, they would have wiped out before. And this is one image of Amazon. In the Amazon, there was a road, it is called Trans-Amazonian Highway in Rodania district. And later people moved in and in fishboat pattern, deforestation took place and nearly all the vegetation was lost. And this is an image there. And you know, already I told about this replacing a virgin forest is replaced by the palm oil cultivation. So you can understand what is genetic loss. You know, the palm oil is a single species, and the juxtaposing forest has many species, like thousands of plant species. Just for one single species, hundreds and thousands of ancient and evolutionary species are lost. What a loss to the creation of Earth. And this is a Canadian boreal forest devastated for the paper mills. And this is in Orissa. This is provided by our senior Dr. Sai Bhaskar Reddy. This image mining, stripping out all the forest areas. And this is Podu cultivation in Orissa. And this is also some deforestation in Araku area. And you know, you see these cashew plantations are stepping up the hills, one of the prime forest areas. Now you can see all the cashew and palm oil and this kind of things in the original forested areas. And you know, we the people, urbanization is creeping up to the forested hills in the Araku, sorry, Visakhapatnam. This is near Simhachalam temple. And you know, for road widening, all these things, we are losing the trees. And we are going to the boundaries, the frontiers of the forest. Agriculture is pushing back this forest. Just in future, we may see just in a very small creeks and very top of the hills, the forest. Otherwise, we won't see anything. And you know, we are losing the forest resource base, and fuel wood will be a shortage in future. And water towers are affected, and wildlife habitats are devastated. And I can say a good quotation, a very interesting quotation of John Bolton. He says that the biodiversity of the planet is unique and uniquely valuable library that we have been steadily burning down one wing at a time before we have even cataloged all the books, let alone read them all. I think you understand this quote. Before we read any few books, we are burning all the library. So what a loss, genetic loss to the planetary creation. We are destroying our ancient genetic bank. So the landscape, ecosystem, water regimes, atmosphere we are causing havoc. So we have ancient examples like Easter Island. It is 4,000 kilometers from Argentina, off coast Argentina, and one has to go 4,000 to 5,000 kilometers to reach any landmass. It is such a secluded and very far away island, and because of ego, the tribal people warred themselves and cut all the forests and eat all the wildlife, and Easter Island become barren. They also lost their civilization. Some castaways reached there some 5,000 years ago, and they, because of their ego, they devastated their Easter Island, and it is now, it was an extinct planet, island. So pre-Columbian civilization South America happened, say, Mayas, Aztecs, and Great Dust Bowl in USA caused havoc, and famine in Sahel, Sub-Saharan Africa is also causing this kind of impacts. And this is, Norway is one of the European North Pole or European country. There is called one Svalbard archipelago. There, some philanthropists and scientists came together to build a seed vault. They assume that if something happens, all the planetary genetic resources are devastated, lost, and if something planetary crisis happens, what happens to the life on Earth? So they concerned, and they are creating a seed vault. They are preserving all the seeds which are in the nature, which are cultivated by the farmers across the continents. In this stable, this is called one of the stablest land mass, and very low risk of disasters. Hence, in the ice in the subsurface, they're sequestering all the seeds in this Svalbard seed vault. So you can understand why we are observing this Earth Day. If something happens, all the genetic wealth is lost. How to rejuvenate the Earth? So we must preserve. Before we need this kind of a seed vaults, we must preserve all the seeds and our genetic wealth as it is on the in the villages, across the fields, and in the forests, and in the grasslands, in the woodlands, in the coastal areas, mangroves, everywhere. So it's a indicator, it's a beckoning light actually. Uh, it's a warning sign that we are coming up with this kind of seed vaults. So that indicates the situation is worst, and what kind of a disaster we're making to the planet Earth and its vital life supporting systems. So, we must have heard about sustainable development goals. In this sustainable development goals, we have climate change 13 and life on land 15, directly linked to this for a living plants for a living planet, and all other sustainable development goals are dependent on this. So we have to be very cautious, and we have to be responsible. We have to take a transformative living. And we have some examples like Ashoka, King Ashoka, who have planted trees, who was compassionate. Earlier, Dr. Sai Bhaskar Reddy said a philosophical outline that we should have a compassionate outlook and perspective towards the surrounding natural world. And Ashoka showed some inspiration some 2,000 years ago. And John Muir in American West was one of the passionate, compassionate nature guardian. And Richard Saint Baker, he is called Tree Man. And Wangari Maathai, who got the Nobel laureate due to her lifetime work to replant the Kenyan highlands with trees. She created women's groups. It is called Green Belt Movement, and they have planted so many millions of trees in the deforested areas in the Kenya, and they rejuvenated the watersheds and streams. And Nairobi city is now receiving water from those watersheds in the central Kenyan highlands. And in India also we have Bishnois, Chipko movement, Silent Valley movement. We have the South American warrior Chico Mendes, who was killed by ranchers. He was a rubber tapper who was shot close from a point blank because of his defense against the deforestation in Amazon. And Dorothy Strong, same way, was martyred. And Dian Fossey, she was the defender of gorillas, mountain gorillas in Virunga Mountains. She was killed. So we have many examples, and we have success stories of reforestation also. Tizca National Park in Rio de Janeiro. It is one of the prime last remnants of the rainforest of Atlantic rainforest. It is a 32 square kilometers rainforest in near Rio de Janeiro. And we have many of the trees now. International Tree Foundation. You can browse in the internet. Civilian conservation corps in the United States have done a marvelous work. After Dust Bowl, this Franklin D. Roosevelt instituted this civilian conservation corps. And reforestation in Korea is a classic example. In conservation in Bhutan is one of the best method, and Green Belt movement in Kenya. And there are efforts like Great Green Wall in China, and Great Smokies and other protected areas in USA, and Catskill Mountains in USA. Annapurna Conservation Area, Białowieża in Poland, it is preserved as a pristine European bison habitat. So there are many examples. We need to explore, and we need to emulate, and we need to upscale here. We apply it here also in India, and we are doing actually. Telangana government is doing Haritaharam, but it should be done in more spirited way, more with native species and local species. So protecting keystone species like this. And we have examples like a young 9-year-old boy who inspired United Nations with his planting compassion, and he did marvelous job. And Forestman of India called Jadav Prayang, he is from a village near Brahmaputra. He created a forest in an island in the Brahmaputra River Valley island. And Salmar the Timmaka on Bangalore Highway, she has no sons and daughters. And she took it as passion to plant the trees, and she planted all the way. And it's a green canopy. And she did a wonderful job. So just a moment. So there are many men and women who are working in this direction. I think our constitution said that it is that state shall endure protection and improvement of environment and safeguard all the forests and wildlife. And it is also stated that it shall be the duty of every citizen of India to protect and improve the natural environment, including forests, lakes, rivers, and wildlife, and to have compassion for living creatures. The Constitution of India, Article 51A. So we need to restore our earth. We need an environmental responsibility, ethic towards the planet, eco-resilience, ecological stewardship, earth leadership. And I feel that transformation is possible from individual. If everyone in his mind and attitude and soul should transform to take the responsibility. So I wish from this Earth Day, every one of us take responsibility. We can do many things because Earth is our home, and if it is she is our mother, and if she is sick, we cannot be happy. We cannot, our well-being and welfare is jeopardized. So it is our responsibility to restore our mother health, and we should work for collectively for the protection of the earth. So on this Earth Day, we should work to restore the air, water, livability, soils, seeds, and crops, wildlife habitats, and forests, woodlands, grasslands, coastal areas, and all other ecosystems on this planet. And I'm very happy you have given me opportunity and time to speak on this occasion. Thank you for patient listening. this wonderful day, but it's not really a day to rejoice. It's a day for a responsibility to ponder upon how to restore our earth. It is a day to come out with commitments to restore our planet. So thank you very much, Nagaraj Garu, Principal Garu, and all the conveners and Venkatesh and all the participants here for patiently for this presentation and my concerns. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. You have given very nice informative touch, sir. Already success stories also you have explained how they are doing, what we have to do, and what are the measures we have to take, and what we have done, what we need. That also explained very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you for your elaborative thoughts, sir. And anybody, those who are interested to interact with the speakers, please, from the podcast. Sir, thank you for the given time to us, sir. Even in the shortest span of the time, even night, we asked it to you. You immediately accepted to interact with our students and all our country participants. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Uma Maheshwar, sir. Thank you for giving your valuable thoughts, sir, and daily acceptance to interact with our stakeholders, sir. Anybody, please? Any interested to interact?
Nagaraj Garu, your voice is little low actually.
Oh, sir.
Yeah, just try to enhance, restore your voice. I'm unable to hear you.
Oh, sir. Okay. Okay, sir.
Nagaraj Garu,
Sir.
it's a very
okay,
good
sir?
program that you have arranged. And
Sir,
I've
yes,
gone
sir.
through the entire lecture given by
Okay.
our two resource persons. Very wonderful and very informative lectures were. My only one request from the resource
Okay.
persons is that, Nagaraju, our city college is having a land.
Yes.
We have not at all developed any, what do you call, the greenhouse and all other thing. Better if we invite these resource persons one day to our college and let us take a program to improve the green coverage area of our college. And also there are certain wild these what you say, birds are there, no, bats and other things also there. So how to protect and how to come out of these things. Let us ask these two resource persons, if at all they are available in Hyderabad, we can invite them once and we will show our college totally and take a holistic plan to improve the greenery in the college. What do you say about this?
Yes, sir, definitely, sir. We are collaborating with them, sir. We already conducted the post presentation like awareness program, sir. We will do. We readily there. I think CGR people persons readily accept, sir. We all do with them, sir. Sir, Venkatesh, sir, Uma Maheshwar, sir, Sai Bhaskar, sir. Sir, we invite you, sir, to our college.
Yeah.
We definitely.
But after this COVID situation comes to normal condition.
Yes, sir. That's why
let us wait for some time, some days.
Yes.
And our senior Dr. Sai Bhaskarana will tell.
Yes, sir. That's why we couldn't. That's why we are done the webinar, sir. Otherwise, we are in MOU with you, sir. We will collaborate with you, sir. We will do more activities with you, sir.
Ours is a college, it's a prestigious college, and our college practices should be an exemplary practices to all other colleges in the Telangana state. That is the reason I am requesting these Council for Green Revolution organization authorities to visit once after the COVID situation comes to a normal this one. So
Sure, sir. I am from NB Science College.
Oh, thank you.
I am nearby.
Right, right.
Irgu Porgu College.
Then no issue. We will have one day. You
Yeah.
can visit our college and we can have a plan for to develop the college grounds. Hmm?
Sure, sir.
Will do, sir.
Thank you.
Any staff, teaching staff, anybody interested to interact with any questions, any doubts, any questions, any information you need? Nampal, you can mute and you can ask. Nampalli, who is that? You can. You raise the hand, na?
Sir.
Okay.
Very
okay, you can.
informative webinar, sir. Thank you very much for organizing all those. Umeshwar Reddy, sir, and Principal, sir. Nagaraj, sir. Thank you
Oh.
very much, sir.
Anybody? Anybody? Anita, Bhojbhai, and Bala Sahib. Anybody? Those who are participated in the outside of our state also, will you please interact with them. If you have any doubt, any clarification, any information needed, you please interact with them. If you interacted, it is very active session. We feel very proud. Please, anybody? Anybody? Rekha Verma, Ramesh Singh Bali, Dr. Ramesh Singh Bali, sir. Anybody? Just you give the feedback. If otherwise, how the program? Just you give the feedback. Dr. Y.R. Ratnakumari, ma'am.
It was great, sir. So informative, and I startingly I joined and listened every lecture you and other lecturer are given. So informative and motivative, and I also think about the environmental day and the pollutions, whatever we have the conditions and the situations. We have to really I feel we have to plant more trees and be concerned to save our planet. It is our only planet. So this is a very good way to awareness, spreading the awareness, and I'm very gladful to join the meeting.
Okay, thank you, sir. Anybody? Dr. Lembi Bakshu, sir. Anybody? Anybody? Those who are interested to give the feedback or any suggestions, any interactive session. So, Dr. P. Shankar, sir. Dr. P. Shankar, sir. Tirupati, P. Tirupati. Why? It is not a lunchtime, not at it has some more time. You can interact.
Sir, Nagaraj,
Sir,
sir, questions are not there. Please go for vote of thanks, sir.
sir, before that, our Venkatesh sir will talk on this program at 1 minute. Our programming coordinator of CGR Hyderabad. Sir, please, Venkatesh sir. Sir, Venkatesh sir.
Sir, thank you, sir. Hello.
Sir, you carry on, sir. You can, sir. Venkatesh sir.
ధన్యవాదాలు సార్. ఈరోజు ఈ కార్యక్రమానికి విచ్చేసినటువంటి ప్రముఖులు, అలాగే సిజిఆర్ ఎర్త్ సెంటర్ డైరెక్టర్ డాక్టర్ సాయి భాస్కర్ రెడ్డి సార్, అలాగే ఎన్విరాన్మెంటల్ సైంటిస్ట్ శ్రీ ఉమా మహేశ్వర్ రెడ్డి సార్, అండ్ సిటీ కాలేజ్ గవర్నమెంట్ సిటీ కాలేజ్ ప్రిన్సిపల్ సార్, మరియు వివిధ యూనివర్సిటీ నుంచి అటెండ్ అయినటువంటి అసిస్టెంట్ ప్రొఫెసర్ విద్యార్థులకు ధరిత్రి దినోత్సవ శుభాకాంక్షలు తెలియజేస్తూ ఈ యొక్క కార్యక్రమం ముఖ్య ఉద్దేశము పుడమని పునరుద్ధరించుకుందామనే ఒక అంశంతో విత్ ఇన్ షార్ట్ టైంలో నిన్ననే డిసైడ్ చేయడం జరిగింది. ఈ యొక్క కార్యక్రమాన్ని నిర్వహించుదామని సారు అన్న వెంటనే నేను సారు స్పీకర్స్ మాట్లాడిన వెంటనే వాళ్ళు కూడా ఒప్పుకొని ఈ యొక్క వాళ్ళ ఉన్నటువంటి వాల్యుబుల్ సమయాన్ని కేటాయించి ఈ యొక్క కార్యక్రమానికి వచ్చినందుకు మరొకసారి హృదయపూర్వక ధన్యవాదాలు తెలుపుతూ ఈరోజు వివిధ సెంటర్లలో సిజిఆర్ తెలంగాణ వ్యాప్తంగా వివిధ గ్రామాలలో విద్యార్థుల చేత అండ్ వివిధ ప్రతినిధుల చేత కూడా ప్లెడ్జ్ కార్యక్రమాలు నిర్వహించడం జరుగుతుంది. అదేవిధంగా ఈ నా చిన్న విన్నపం ఏమిటంటే ఈరోజు ఈ కార్యక్రమానికి విచ్చేసినటువంటి ప్రతి ఒక్కరు కూడా మీ యొక్క ప్లేస్లలో ధరిత్రి దినోత్సవానికి సంబంధించి మీ యొక్క ప్లెడ్జ్ని చేసి పంపించినట్టయితే సిజిఆర్ పంపించినట్టయితే అది ఒక మంచి కార్యక్రమంగా విరాజిల్లుతుందని నేను భావిస్తున్నాను. ఎందుకంటే ఈరోజు కొన్ని సంవత్సరాల కానించి కూడా ఈ భూమిలో జరుగుతున్నటువంటి పెను మార్పులకు మనుషులు ఆద్యులయ్యారు. ఆ ఆద్యుల నుంచి ఇప్పుడు కూడా ఈ పుడమిని రక్షించకపోతే రాబో తరాలకి చాలా సమస్యలు తలెత్తే విధంగా ఉన్నది. కాబట్టి ఇక్కడ ఉన్నటువంటి ఇంటలెక్చువల్స్ విద్యావంతులు అదేవిధంగా సామాజికంగా చైతన్యం కలిగినటువంటి వివిధ రంగాలకు చెందినటువంటి ప్రముఖులకు సిజిఆర్ నుంచి చిన్న విన్నపం ఏంటంటే ఈరోజు జరుగుతున్నటువంటి ప్రతి సమస్యకి భూమిలో నుంచి వచ్చినటువంటి ప్రతి మార్పుకి మనుషులు ఆద్యులుగా ఉన్నారు. కాబట్టి వారు ఇప్పటికైనా మేల్కొని మనం చైతన్యం కలిగించి ఈ విధంగా సమాజాన్ని ముందుకు తీసుకెళ్లాల్సిన అవసరం ఎంతైనా ఉంది. కాబట్టి మీరు కూడా వివిధ సెంటర్లలో మీరు పర్యావరణ పరిరక్షణకు సంబంధించినటువంటి వివిధ కార్యక్రమాలు చేస్తూ ముందుకెళ్తారని ఆశిస్తున్నాను. థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్. డాక్టర్ నాగరాజ్ సార్.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you. Readily accept given a time to us. Even in the evening time, I asked you. You have given the time. You also given the talk of eminent persons. Uma Maheshwar Reddy sir and Sai Bhaskar Reddy sir given elaborate talk and given enlighten the staff and the students, those who are participated. And thank you very much for readily associated with us, Botany Department of the 100 years, centenary years. Our city college is going to celebrate our centenary years. The centenary celebrations are going to start in this centenary college, old, traditional and very prestigious college. We'll collaborate with you, sir. We will associate with you, sir. Your Council for Green Revolution, sir. Thank you very much for President Dr. K. Reddy Madam Garu. And their activities are very enlightened. They are reaching to the common people and students, young generation. For that we are feel proud of it. We feel proud to associate with them. We feel proud to utilize your knowledge, your enthusiasm to actively participate in the environmental awareness programs and with our college students. And also we expect more associations with you to interact with our students after COVID. And we also invite you to our prestigious college to make our college green campus. How best we can do. Our college is a green, though it is as a archaeological building it is. That we also can we do what we do. We add with our plants, with our natural environment, natural green plants. So, and anybody, those stop, please. Anybody give the feedback, please?
So Nagaraj sir, please put the feedback from in the chat
yeah.
box, sir.
Yeah, already I kept, sir. 2 to 3 times I kept in the chat box, sir. Feedback on. Already it
Many
is there
persons
in the,
are,
already I kept, sir. Again also I am keeping it. Okay. Anybody? Teacher, stop. Especially stop. You need to interact. This is the environment program, is our Earth, motherland. We are discussing about our motherland, that giving support, all the things to us. At least we can't. We can talk a few words. Our motherland day. Sir, the Jahid Patil, Mahesh Patil. Mahesh Patil, sir, are you? Okay, sir. Sir Venkatesh, sir. Sir Venkatesh, sir.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, just one, sir, is going to.
Yashwant sir, please announce the international webinar.
Thank you so much, Venkatesh. Good evening, good afternoon, everybody. It was a very nice morning till afternoon. We had a very good session, and we are very happy to connect with you and collaborate with you with this for this national webinar. So today, as you all know, that it is a international Earth Day. So we are conducting an international webinar on the same theme, Restore Our Earth. So that is at 4:30 p.m. So if anybody interested participants, they would like to participate, we'll share you the registration form in the chat box. You can click on that and you can get yourself registered, and it starts at 4:30 today. So for this international webinar, we have speakers all across the world. Like we have speakers from Canada, we have speakers from Malaysia, speaking on particular issues of sustainability, land degradation through pesticides, then environment, how youth has to participate in environmental issues. And we also have Professor Purushottam Reddy sir, who will be speaking on various issues on environment, how are we supposed to restore our. So it would be great to see you all there also. So interested participants can please log into the details. They can register yourself. I'm putting the form in the chat box. And if you want the poster, Venkatesh would be able to share it with you all. So please contact Venkatesh for further information. Thank you so much.
Sir, thank you. Thank you for giving opportunity to our staff, sir. All the degree college lecturers, they are very much interested to know about the environment, environmental awareness. All the staff, those who are interested, you can participate. You go through this link. This link will be already kept in the chat box. You go through this and you participate in the global program on the Earth Day. And one more thing, we are very enlightened to give talk with you. That is, especially on this occasion, we already conducted the poster presentation and drawing competition to the degree students in the state level, not only the state, national level. We conducted the poster presentation and drawing competition in association with our Council for Green Revolution. So many students are participated. They are drawn the very interesting, very enlightened, interesting, and very attractive drawings, and prepare the posters also, especially on the occasion of our Earth Day, Restore Our Earth, with the theme of Restore Our Earth. So many students are participated. Those who participated, that participations, all the participation we got into our mail, that all the posters and drawings will be judged by our eminent persons from CGR, Council for Green Revolution, that is Sri Uma Maheshwar Reddy sir and Dr. Sai Bhaskar Reddy sir and Venkatesh. These three people will judge your posters and drawings. They will select the first and second. For those who got the first and second, third, will get the appreciation certificate and prize also. We will send it to you. Today we will finalize that, and we also send it to you the certificate and the prize amount also. Thank you, sir. With your association, we also done actually encourage the students to participate, to make aware about the environment. So many people are, so many students are participated. We need to encourage our young generations. Young generations are very active. They are participated. You have given that chance also to us. Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving that, sir. Umameshwar Reddy sir and Sai Bhaskar Reddy sir. You please, I will send all the drawings and posters to you, sir. You please judge it and select the best first, second, and third, sir. That we will provide the certificate and prize, sir. In this seminar, we are requesting you, sir. Already said to the Venkatesh, sir. You please finalize that poster and drawings. With that, we will provide the certificate and presentation to them. And we also will associate with you in the green programs and plantation programs. As like our principal said, we interact with you. We need help of you to make the green campus. I think you all readily accept our request, sir, Umameshwar Reddy sir and Sai Bhaskar Reddy sir. You all please accept Botany Department City College request and do needful to us to make the green campus of our City College. And and then principal sir, thank you very much, sir, for given opportunity, given a time to us to conduct such a wonderful program, our Motherland Day, Earth Day program, to restore our earth, to make aware on the earth. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir, to encourage us all and all our Botany Department faculty, Head Department of Botany, Dr. KLV Varaprasad Rao sir, and Dr. D. Narmada ma'am, and Srimati Sebarani ma'am, and Dr. K. Sudharani ma'am, and all the staff, and me, Dr. D. Nagaraju. Thank you, and all the participants, all the staff members from the various states. You please raise your hands. Those who are from outside of Telangana, please we can at least know how many are participated from outside our state. Please, at least we know the how many are participated from outside. Okay, Nampally, one. At least we know. Okay. Thank you. Rahul Desai and Pulichala Yugender. Okay, Vanita Garg and Kumal Kampale. Yes, so many participated from outside state. Rekha Verma. Yes, those are participated from outside state. Thank you, given the time to us to make it grand success. And Sitish Rai Chaudhary and Dilip Kumar Dal, Rekha Verma and Katrivelu Sambandhan. These all participated from the various states of our India. Thank you for your cooperation to make it grand success. And all the students, those who are participated, and all the my dear faculty members, staff members from various colleges of our CS Telangana state, and especially we bow thanks to CGR, Council for Green Revolution, Hyderabad, and all the staff and the students and staff and media and press people. Thank you very much. Thank you for made it grand success. On behalf of Department of Botany, Government City College, we are very much thankful to you. You please fill the feedback form you please give your valuable suggestions, feedback to us, so that we can make correction for the next webinar, next program. If any suggestions, you please suggest in the feedback form. And once again, thank you all. With this, we will conclude. Uma Maheshwar Reddy sir, and Sai Bhaskar Reddy sir, and Venkatesh sir. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Can we close the meeting, sir? Hello.
Sir, thank you for given a chance, given a time to us.
Sir,
to make
close
it-
sir.
Yes, sir. Thank
Yes,
you,
sir.
thank you all the participants.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir, kept the registration form for the evening program, the global conducting program on Saturday. Those who are interested, you please register in that. All the staff members from in this webinar, you please make it that also grand success.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Yashwant sir, close the meeting, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Venkatesh sir. We will do more works with the collaboration, sir.
Sure, sir.
And
Definitely.
we also provide the certificates with your association, sir. Your association, Council for Green Revolution signatures also.
Okay,
We
okay,
will-
sir.
we will
I will
provide
call
the
you.
certificate.
I will call you later, sir. Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
sir. We will
Yashwant
provide
sir,
the certificates with your President ma'am, K. Leela Lakshma Reddy
Yeah,
ma'am.
yeah, definitely. I will
and
give
the
the
direct-
all information. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And the director and president and your program coordinator with you three signatures and with you three people judgment of the posters and drawings. We will finalize, conclude, and we will provide the certificate and prize amount to them, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. With this, we will conclude, sir.
Sir, end చేస్తున్నాను, sir.